A summer Sunday, 1914. All across Europe, the bells were pealing, calling men and women to church. Sunday, the Lord's Day, and a day of rest. It was a world of firm beliefs. The established order was not widely questioned. Father at the head of the family, the monarch at the head of the nation, God in his heaven. Sunday after church was a day of quiet pleasures.
Let's go down a daydream, kind of Idaho, so now you know. And when you go, you'll see there's something on her mind. Don't think it's you, 'cause no one's gonna kiss that gal but me.
In the Bois de Boulogne, the Tiergarten or Rotten Row, the aristocracy displayed themselves. Carriages, servants, dazzling clothes. Material progress had marched swiftly in the peaceful decades before 1914. It was a world of novelties, clashing with established ways. Wireless and telephones, motor cars and motorcycles, electric light and electric trains, submarines and airships. A world humming with new energy and power. But under the smiles, the relaxation, it was a world of tensions. The old order, with its economy based on land and its society based on owning land, was in conflict with the new order of industry and teeming cities. Industry had uprooted populations, expanded them beyond belief, tempted them, enriched them, and impoverished them. The peace of Europe in 1914 was a fragile thing.
On the idle hill of summer, sleepy with the sound of streams, far I hear the steady drummer, drumming like a noise in dreams.
In the Germanic empires, lying across the heart of Europe, the clash of old and new was obvious. Under the leadership of Prussia, under Bismarck, the Iron Chancellor, Germany had emerged as a nation and as a world power. In 1871, her 39 separate states, after centuries of discord, had united at last. The kings of Saxony and Bavaria, the princes, dukes and electors, Brunswick, Baden, Hanover, Mecklenburg, Württemberg, Oldenburg, all paid allegiance to the King of Prussia, the Kaiser. This unity fulfilled a deep wish in German hearts. It gave them a sense of destiny. Even the leadership of Prussia was better than insignificance, and with unity had come an extraordinary upsurge of energy and expansion. In 1871, there were 41 million Germans. In 1913, there were nearly 68 millions, an increase of more than half. And more than half of them were living in towns and cities. But it was not merely an expansion of population. The foundations of economic strength at the turn of the century were steel and coal. Germany had made great strides with both.
Steel production multiplied by 12 in 30 years.
Coal production multiplied by nearly 5 in 30 years.
Manufactures multiplied by 4.
Exports multiplied by 3.
Exports of chemicals multiplied by 3.
Exports of machinery multiplied by 5.
In 30 years, Germany's share in world trade had risen by a third. Now, in 1914, Germany was, after America, the most powerful industrial nation in the world. The epitome of her industrial might lay in the firm of Krupp. Essen, city of steel, where the first Krupp factory was built, became, by 1902,
a great city with its own streets, its own police force, fire department and traffic laws. There are 150 kilometers of rail, 60 different factory buildings, 8,500 machine tools, 7 electrical stations, 140 kilometers of underground cable and 46 overhead.
Germany delighted in the prowess of Krupps. When Alfred Krupp died in that year, the Kaiser attended his lavish funeral and called him a German of the Germans. In 1914, the firm employed 80,000 workers. They lived in Krupp houses, their babies were delivered by Krupp doctors, their children educated in Krupp schools. They bought at Krupp stores, borrowed books from Krupp libraries, married in the Krupp church, and were buried in the Krupp cemetery. Under Bismarck, Germany had come closer than any other state to modern conceptions of social welfare. German workers enjoyed sickness, accident, and maternity benefits, canteens and changing rooms, and a national pension scheme, before these were even thought of in more liberal countries. Yet the life of the workers was hard. The steel mills operated a 12-hour day and an 80-hour week. Neither rest days nor holidays were guaranteed. In Germany, as in every industrial state, there was poverty and protest. By 1912, the Socialist Party was the strongest party in the Reichstag, the German parliament. But the Reichstag did not rule Germany. The Kaiser ruled Germany through officials whom he personally appointed. No one, says Sir Winston Churchill, should judge the Kaiser Wilhelm II without asking the question, what should I have done in his position?
Imagine yourself brought up to believe that you were appointed by God to be the ruler of a mighty nation. Imagine succeeding in your 20s to the prizes of Bismarck's 3 victorious wars. Imagine feeling the magnificent German race bounding beneath you in ever-swelling numbers, strength, wealth, and ambition. And imagine on every side the thunderous tributes of the crowds and the skilled, unceasing flattery of the court.
With this background, subjected to these pressures, trying to hide a left arm withered from birth, for 30 years, Wilhelm II had vexed and perturbed the peace of Europe, but always short of war. His first public utterance when he came to the throne was addressed not to the people, but to the army.
We belong to each other, I and the army. We were born for each other and will indissolubly cleave to each other. I promise ever to bear in mind that from the world above, the eyes of my forefathers look down on me, and that I shall one day have to stand accountable to them for the glory and honor of the army.
These were not empty words. The German Kaiser was also the King of Prussia, and it was precisely for the sake of Prussian strength that the other Germany, the Germany of the merchants, the industrialists, the musicians, the philosophers, had accepted her rule. The Prussian influence was seeping through the whole nation. It was above all a military influence, well described by one of its advocates, General von Hindenburg.